What if I told you that by 2050, India will be home to the world's largest Muslim population? Over 14 centuries ago, Islam arrived on Kerala's Malabar coast, carried by Arab merchants and ideas rather than swords. Today, Muslims account for nearly 15% of India's 1.4 billion people, and their numbers continue to climb. But as their population grows, millions of Indian Muslims endure deep poverty, escalating violence, and a crisis of belonging. This is the story of how Islam came to India, why it remains vibrant, and the real struggles its followers face today. Our story begins not with conquest but with connections. In 629 CE, Arab traders built the Cheraman Juma Masjid on the Malabar coast, marking India's first mosque. They married into local families, wove Islam into coastal culture, and forged early friendships. But politics soon followed trade. In 712 CE, 17-year-old Muhammad ibn al-Qasim led an Umayyad army into Sindh, Taxila, and Multan. For the next 5 centuries, regional dynasties such as the Ghaznavids in Punjab and the Ghurids in northern India held sway. The decisive moment arrived in 1206, when Qutbuddin Aibak, a former slave of Central Asian origin, founded the Delhi Sultanate. Over more than 300 years, 5 successive sultanates built mosques, minarets, and schools across northern India. Then came the Mughals. In 1526, Babur swept south from Uzbekistan, defeating the Sultan of Delhi and claiming the subcontinent. Under Akbar the Great from 1556 to 1605, Muslims and Hindus collaborated to forge a multicultural empire. Persian domes crowned Indian stone. Language blended into Urdu. Biryani, Qawwali, and Sufi shrines enriched popular culture. Architectural masterpieces followed, the Qutub Minar piercing Delhi's skyline, the Taj Mahal rising from white marble under Shah Jahan, and the Red Fort testifying to imperial grandeur. Yet all empires wane. After Aurangzeb's death in 1707, regional powers like the Marathas and Sikhs filled the vacuum. The British East India Company consolidated control, and following the failed revolt of 1857, the British Crown ruled India. In 1947, the subcontinent was partitioned into Hindu-majority India and Muslim-majority Pakistan. Millions were uprooted. By 1951, Indian Muslims made up just 9.8% of a newly independent nation. Fast forward 14 centuries. Today, Islam is India's fastest-growing major religion, but not because of mass conversions. In the 2011 census, Muslims numbered 172 million or 14.2% of the population. Government projections for 2023 place that figure at 197.5 million. By 2025, experts estimate between 205 and 230 million Muslims, making up 14.6 to 15% of Indian citizens. Pew Research Center forecasts 311 million Muslims by 2050, or 18.4% of India, surpassing Indonesia as the world's largest Muslim community. Why the growth? 2 words: youth and fertility. The median age for Indian Muslims is just 22, compared with 26 among Hindus. In 2010, Muslim women had a total fertility rate of 3.2 children versus 2.5 among Hindu women. The key point: Muslim fertility is falling fastest. Between 2001 and 2011, Muslim population growth declined from 29.5% to 24.6%. National Family Health Survey data show Muslim total fertility rates converging with the national average. As Pew Research insists, population explosion claims are governed by prejudice, not facts. Integration cements this growth. More than 75% of Indian Muslims identify proudly as Indian. Over 90% speak regional languages. Multi-generational roots run deep from Kerala to Kashmir. Young Muslims shape India's future, from bustling Ramadan bazaars and cricket pitches to technology startups and university campuses. This expansion is indigenous, no mass migration, no forced conversion. Growth, however, tells only half the story. First, economic exclusion and poverty remain entrenched. According to the Sachar Committee, 40% of Indian Muslims live in the most deprived districts. Labor force participation stands at just 35.1%. Despite earning more college degrees than ever before, many Muslims struggle to secure white-collar jobs. After the 2020 Delhi riots, communities retreated into enclaves like Jamia Garh, seeking security but facing poor infrastructure and limited opportunity. Second, violence and hate crimes spiked in 2025. Human Rights Watch documented over 50 killings of Muslims, 23 by state actors and 27 by extremist mobs. Across 13 states, targeted mass violence erupted. Shopkeepers were dragged from their stalls and forced to close. Boycott campaigns spread on social media. Muslim neighborhoods brace daily for the next threat, living in constant fear. Third, discriminatory state policies deepen marginalization. Amnesty International calls bulldozer demolitions a discriminatory de facto policy that arbitrarily destroys Muslim properties after communal unrest. New laws, from uniform civil codes to the Waqf Amendment Bill, threaten personal rights, mosques, and graveyards. In 2024, police opened fire on Muslim protesters in Haldwani and Sambal, underscoring the widening gulf between state power and citizen security. Fourth, a crisis of belonging grips many Indian Muslims. Surveys reveal declining national belonging amid the rise of Hindu nationalism. Political scientist Christophe Jaffrelot warns of the hegemonic spread of majoritarian ideology sidelining minorities. When 40% of a community feels unsafe in its own country, the foundations of democracy tremble. Finally, an education gap persists. Muslim literacy for ages 7 and above stands at 77.7%, below the national average. Fewer Muslim students enroll in technical or professional courses. Yet there are signs of progress. Degree attainment rose from 24% in 2011 to 32.3% today. But until this gap closes, economic integration and social mobility will remain out of reach. These challenges raise urgent questions. Can demographic strength translate into true empowerment? Will India honor its constitutional promise of equality for all? So what happens next? Pew Research outlines 3 possible futures by 2050. First, the demographic future. Muslims could number 311 million, 18.4% of India, while Hindus remain 76.7% at 1.3 billion. The fertility gap will close, ensuring an increasingly diverse nation without any takeover. Second, 2 social futures emerge. Path A embraces genuine inclusion, implementing key recommendations such as ending socioeconomic exclusion of Dalit Muslims, rationalizing OBC quotas, and investing in minority concentration districts. With equal access to education, jobs, and services, Indian Muslims can fully participate in nationwide progress. Path B, however, envisions continued domestic colonialism under soft majoritarianism. Systemic biases persist, rendering millions of Muslims politically and socially marginalized despite demographic strength. Third, the political future poses a stark choice. Will India's secular constitution hold against rising majoritarian pressures? Or will 300 million Muslims become politically invisible under new laws and administrative barriers? The answer depends on political will and civic engagement, on whether India reaffirms its pluralistic values or succumbs to prejudice. Islam journeyed to India on a merchant's boat. It ruled from Delhi's throne. It built the Taj Mahal and survived partition. It grows today because it is young, rooted, and Indian. But growth without justice reproduces old wounds. The future of 205 million Indian Muslims, and of India itself, depends on inclusion, equality, and belonging. Will democracy honor its promise, or let prejudice eclipse progress? The answer lies in our actions. Like, share, and subscribe to the Global Mystery Nexus channel for more informative videos.